The entire village gathered at the palace square. It was the day every maiden had waited for. The prince would watch them dance and choose the one who pleased his spirit. Drums thundered, flutes cried sweetly. Girls spread across the arena like blooming flowers. Chiamaka danced at the front, bold hips, confident steps, eyes shining with hope. She had practiced for weeks, dreaming of royal attention. But her elder sister, Adaora, was not there. Adaora never cared for such displays. She preferred the quiet things. The rustling of leaves, the laughter of the stream, the gentle company of her thoughts. Everyone called her the unnoticed daughter of Nwori. The prince, seated on a carved wooden throne, watched the dancers. When Chiamaka moved, she moved like fire, and fire always caught attention. Prince Obinna leaned forward. A small smile curved his lips. "That maiden, the one in the blue wrapper, she dances with her soul," he said. The elders nodded. And so, the prince noticed Chiamaka.
3 days later, fate changed everything. Prince Obinna decided to take an early morning walk to the forest stream, a place he remembered from childhood. No guards, no noise, just the quiet heartbeat of nature. When he reached the water, he saw a girl kneeling by the bank, washing her wrapper. Her back was to him. Her hair fell loosely around her shoulders. The morning sun tinted her skin gold. She turned. And in that moment, the prince's breath left him. It was Adaora, but he did not know her name yet. Her eyes held silence, wisdom, and softness, a complete opposite of the vibrant dancer he had noticed earlier. She lowered her gaze. "My prince," she whispered politely. "You know me," he said softly, "but I have never seen you before." Adaora smiled faintly. "I do not attend gatherings often." The prince stepped closer. Something about her calmness pulled him in. A gentle force, deeper than dance, deeper than beauty. They began to talk. Just small words, but the stream carried those words like secrets. And without realizing it, the prince felt something settle in his heart. A feeling that Chiamaka's dance had never stirred.
Days passed. Prince Obinna found himself returning to the stream. Not for water, not for peace, but for Adaora. She laughed shyly, spoke softly, listened deeply. She did not try to impress him. She did not dance. She did not smile for attention. But she touched him in a place he didn't know was empty. Soon, he began asking questions. "Where do you live? Do you come here every morning? Can I walk you home?" And slowly, Adaora began to fall too. One afternoon, Chiamaka was returning from the market when she saw them together, walking side by side along the narrow path, laughing gently at a shared joke. Her heart froze. That laughter, that closeness, that tenderness. It wasn't the laughter the prince gave her after her dance. This one was deeper. Chiamaka hid behind the tree, watching the two people she loved most, her sister and her dream, walking together like fate itself had paired them. Rage bloomed inside her. Jealousy clawed her chest. "How dare she?" Chiamaka whispered. "She did nothing, yet she took the heart I danced for." It was that moment, that painful moment, that began the tragedy. Chiamaka said nothing to Adaora at first, but inside her, something dark was growing. A twisting vine of jealousy she could not cut. Every time she saw the prince, she imagined herself beside him, crowned, adored, worshipped. But every time she saw Adaora, she imagined the prince's eyes softening in a way they never softened for her. One evening, Chiamaka confronted her sister. "You didn't dance," she said quietly. "You didn't even want him, so why did you take him?" Adaora froze. "I took nothing," she whispered. "He met me by chance." "Chance," Chiamaka laughed bitterly. "Or fate stealing from me again?" Adaora reached for her hand. Chiamaka pulled away. That night, two sisters slept in the same room, but with a wall of pain between them.
The palace soon buzzed with gossip. The prince had been seen walking with More's quiet daughter. The elders whispered. The maidens panicked. Chiamaka's hope burned like dying coal. When the king asked his son who had captured his heart, Prince Obinna didn't hesitate. "Adaora," he said simply. The king nodded. The queen smiled. The entire palace agreed. She was the perfect future queen. Everyone was satisfied. Everyone except the one who had danced her heart out. When Chiamaka heard the news, her world shattered. She screamed into her pillow. She tore her wrapper in pain. She cried until her voice broke. "How can my own blood do this to me?" she whispered shakily. The seed of darkness was now a tree.
On the night before the official announcement, Adaora decided to visit the stream. She wanted to thank the spirits for blessing her with unexpected love. Chiamaka followed her, silently, barefoot, eyes swollen, hands trembling. The forest was quiet. The moon cast silver on the water. Adaora bent to fill her calabash. "Why did you follow me?" she asked gently, having sensed her sister's presence. Chiamaka stepped forward. Her voice cracked. "If he had picked any other girl, I would not have cared. But you, Adaora, why must it be you?" Adaora turned, tears already in her eyes. "Sister, I never wanted to hurt you. I cannot explain how the heart chooses."
Chiamaka sobbed. "You stole him." Adaora shook her head. "No, he found me." Those words shattered the last piece of Chiamaka's restraint. She lunged forward, pushing Adaora. Adaora stumbled back toward the water, not to kill her, but in blind anger and heartbreak. But Adaora's foot slipped on wet stones. Her body tilted. Her hand reached out. Her eyes widened, and she fell. A scream tore through the air as Adaora hit her head on a sharp rock and collapsed into the stream. The water turned red. Chiamaka froze. Her hands shook violently. "Adaora! Adaora!" she cried, pulling her out. Her sister's eyes fluttered, unfocused. "Sister, I forgive you." Then her breath left her body, like a candle blown out by the night. Chiamaka stared at her lifeless sister and let out a wail that echoed through the forest. The next morning, the village woke to tragedy. Adaora's body was found at the riverbank. Chiamaka sat beside her, covered in mud and tears, rocking back and forth like a broken child. When the prince arrived and saw Adaora lying still, he dropped to his knees. "No, no, Adaora!" he cried, lifting her in his arms. Chiamaka looked at him with hollow, dead eyes. "I didn't mean to. I was angry. I was hurting." Village elders pulled her away as she screamed and begged Adaora to wake up. The prince carried Adaora back to the palace, his heart bleeding in silence.
Chiamaka was not banished. The elders saw her pain and understood it as a tragic accident. But she never recovered. She refused to eat, refused to sleep, refused to speak. Every night, her cries echoed through the compound. "Why did I let jealousy win? Why did I lose my sister and my love?" The prince mourned Adaora for months. The village sang dirges in her memory. Even the stream seemed quieter, and Chiamaka, she spent the rest of her days visiting Adaora's grave, laying flowers and begging for forgiveness that her sister had already given.